Married at first sight. Hey guys, this is Nika, and I'm going to give my unsolicited review of the first episode of season 17, Married at First Sight. First time I watched it was the New Orleans season, and that's because I'm from New Orleans, so that kind of introduced me to the overall series. So after that, I kind of started watching the other episodes kind of out of order, but last season 16 was when I really followed live. Episode 1 starts with Pastor Cal saying this is the most intense season. I feel like Married at First Sight, they like to hype you up a lot. They like to hype up the episodes a lot. They'll make you think something is happening that isn't happening at all. And this is just how this show operates. So we know already from the advertisements that one couple will not make it. So it's only 4 married couples for this season. We start with the wedding day for Michael. He has good style. He looks decent. He looks okay, but for some reason he gets abandoned at the altar. They don't show who his bride is, which is very interesting. I'd like to learn more about why. I don't know if she like totally freaked out about it. But when I rewatched the episode again, I see that he had like a sword and a crown. And I was just like, maybe she saw that and thought like, I can't do this. But then I find out that like word on the street is she's the one who requested him to have the sword and the crown. So that's interesting. Maybe her nerves got the best of her. She had like an anxiety attack. Something happened, but she did not go through with it. She was just like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And like, of course, that's heartbreaking for the groom, because you're like, you just never know what the reason will be, if they'll ever reveal that if it's because she was really like not attracted to him. Of course, on prior seasons, we know that there will be the chance that you're not attracted to that person, and maybe this is a case of that. Maybe this is a case of just like the nerves got the best of her and she just could not. I know from season 1 there was a bride to where she was just like almost hyperventilating because she was really nervous about the experience. In the leading up, like the weeks prior episode, you will see Michael's kind of scene where he approaches his friends, letting them know that he will be on the show. For them to even show that much information, I wonder if they're trying to say that they're going to go more into his story about what happened, or will the girl come back? I don't know, but it's just weird that they wouldn't just cut him completely out. Like, why are they even including him in this first episode? But I guess it's for the drama, just to have something, just for people to just see, oh, one of these couples will not get married. Maybe that's what was going on, because we know in TV shows that they like to cut, like even if like Love is Blind, they like to cut off couples if like their story is boring or whatever reason they cut them off. We know like they can like edit you completely out of the scene, but for some reason they didn't do that with Michael. And so I mean, he seems like a cool dude. I wouldn't mind like exploring, like seeing what happened, what's going on. So if it's the end of his story, it's kind of sad, because he does seem like a really interesting character. I would have liked to see him like on the season, getting to know someone and everything like that. So we have Emily and Brennan. Emily is a sales rep, and she's meeting with her friends to announce her engagement. She describes herself as someone who needs to, she's an extrovert and she needs to tone it down. So that just means like she must have this wild personality where she's just like all over the place, probably drinks a little bit too much. She says that she was never in a serious relationship, which is, I wouldn't say that it's a big red flag, because nowadays I feel like people just, I don't know, it's like the world is just not set up for long-term relationships anymore, especially with dating apps and just the variety of options, especially for men. We all know there are more women than men, and it's just like men have their options out there. So I can kind of see Emily was saying something about how after the third date they kind of ghost her, and I'm just like, that's very specific that after that third date like you get ghosted every time. So Brennan is the groom for Emily, and he says that he is a reformed little bitch, which means that I guess he was a pushover and he kind of took the initiative and being more assertive and kind of standing up for himself. So I'm just wondering like how that'll play with someone who's an extrovert and probably a little bit more aggressive in a wife. So maybe there'll be some power plays, I think, in that relationship, but they seem overall to be a pretty cool couple. I think they could pretty much make it because they seem to balance each other out. Brandon is looking for that serious commitment, that relationship, and he even says that this is my wife, there's no divorce. Like, he's fully committed to this woman, whoever she is. And then we have Emily, who's the extrovert, never been in a relationship, but is ready for marriage. So hopefully she doesn't cave from that pressure, because I feel like Brennan is gonna apply the pressure to her, and with her never being in a relationship, hopefully she can take that and just really like nurture it, foster it, and she'll do well. If not, then I feel like she'll probably like say, no, I can't do this, I can't do this, because she's never been in a relationship before. So this will be very interesting to see how it works out. So we have Orion and Lauren as the second couple. Orion is an indigenous person, a Native American, very cultural, seems very respectful. I don't want to say soft-spoken because we don't really see his personality yet. Well, we saw a little bit at the bachelor party and that wasn't really soft-spoken. But he seems like he seems like a cool guy. Like, he just has, like, culture is very important for him. And what was a little interesting for me is that he revealed that he went out on a date with a guy and the guy kissed him, and then he realized that, okay, well, I don't really like men. I thought that was, when I heard him say that, when he told that story, I was just like, wow. But then we find out that Lauren is queer. So I feel like this is, now I see why you matched them together. You can tell that she misses her mother a lot, and then at the fitting for the dress, she just really breaks down for that moment because she recently lost her mother. But Lauren, she seems really down to earth. Like I said, she's into Black culture, and I really see how they put these two together, because you have the Native American culture and you have the Black culture coming together, and they're both very open and willing to learn about each other's culture. So I thought that was very interesting, and I can see why they match. Pastor Cal even said mutual respect and admiration of each other's culture as part of like why they matched them together, and I thought that was cool, and I really want to see like how they embrace each other's culture. Austin and Becca. So Austin's breaking the news to his parents, and mom is looking like she's not having it. The parents are worried about that chemistry, and they feel like if you don't have that initial chemistry, then it will not work out. And they believe that you can't grow chemistry. So if Austin's not attracted to Becca, they just believe that you can't get over that. If you're not attracted, it's not gonna work out. So Austin says that he's been looking for the right person, and that's why he hasn't found anyone to marry. And I feel like this is if you're like picky like that, this is kind of like the worst scenario, because whatever you've been doing is wrong, so you've trusted these experts to pick for you. And I just feel like people who are picky and find things about other people that they don't like just to not be in relationships with, this is not the show. So Becca says that she has chronic pain, and when she explains that and she's talking about like what she has and how she has these health issues, I just feel like this is going to be too much for Austin. I feel like it's going to be a lot for him, and he just does not seem like the type of person that would kind of appreciate someone with chronic pain and kind of being there. He gets off kind of like that sarcastic vibe, like that standoffish vibe to me, but I could be totally wrong, but we'll see. I think the health issues, I mean, it seems like she really goes through with it, and through the stress of this process, Hopefully it doesn't wear her down too much. I feel like Austin is not going to be attracted to Becca, so unfortunately this maybe won't work out. Becca is attractive. Like she's very eccentric. She has that pink hair, but I feel like Austin is gonna pick her apart and really just not like her appearance. Okay, we have Claire and Cameron. So Cameron, it has the accent, and I think he must know. He sounds like Bowie Jane from Big Brother, from the season of Big Brother. He says that that accent has worked to his advantage, especially in the dating world. He's a traveling salesman like his father, so I guess after he's traveled so much, he's really looking to settle down into a relationship. So his mom, which are the people who I guess have been taking care of him since he's been in the United States, she says that he's too picky. And I'm like, oh my goodness, too picky. Here we go with the too picky. The people who should not be on this show because they're too picky or find fault in other people. But here we are. So Claire is a therapist. And so I think that's really interesting that they put a therapist on this show. I think she will be more like open in communication and just, you know, trying to like navigating this whole process with her mate. And I think that'll be an interesting perspective to have on this show, someone actually being a therapist. Claire and Cameron, overall, I think they're going to be a good match, and I'd say they do pretty well through this process, but you just never know with Married at First Sight, and with these two totally different strangers coming together trying to have a relationship, you just never know. But they seem like they both are open, so I think they'll do pretty good. But we're into the tux fittings and we have Brennan just saying that he really looks forward to this process of getting to know his wife. And I think that's a very, like, that's a good thing to say, that you're really looking forward to finding out why you were matched to this person. And that is the perspective that I think everyone needs to have when they come on this show. Like, you've been matched based on these attributions that you have for yourself and personality traits. And so this process should be about discovering in that other person why you guys were matched together. Emily is getting fitted for her wedding dress, and you see her nerves are getting the best of her. She is overthinking everything, and it almost looks like she's trying to talk herself out of this whole situation, because she's just kind of like, you know, really overthinking it. I know it's going to be her first relationship, but she needs to like calm down. And Lauren is getting fitted for her wedding dress. Having lost her mother, she's getting really emotional about this, and she's trying to pick between two dresses. So she calls her aunt, and her aunt picks, I believe, the dress that she wasn't gonna pick. Like, she was like a split vote, like one vote for this dress, one vote for that dress. And I feel like Lauren just got overwhelmed with emotion because she feels like her mother would have known what dress to pick. Lauren, I think this is going to be a very emotional process for her, because this is a very important time in your life, and some people would love to have their mother with them. So this is going to be hard, very emotional for her. So Orion seems like he's just a very supportive person. So just talking all this out with Orion would be the best thing. At the Bachelor and Bachelorette party, Emily is cutting loose. Like, she's wild. We already know she's wild. She's upside down twerking, underwear everywhere. She's just out there wild for the bachelor party. And so everyone's kind of enjoying themselves. They're very involved with the strippers that they have. Everyone's having a good time. No one's being a prude so far. No one's being a prude. And even on the men's side at the bachelor party, the strippers are like cartwheeling all up in their face, and it's just a lot. Austin like turns down the stripper. I don't know what the stripper wanted to do, but he was just like, no, I'm good. No, thank you. Orion mentioned something about a birth certificate. Okay, Orion. Lauren said something about like she can't wait to be intimate with her partner. Like, that's a really big deal for her. So hopefully Orion's girth will work in his favor. We come to the wedding day, Brennan and Emily. Brennan is just like, he's so for sure on this marriage thing. I really hope it works out, because he has such high expectations. He's just like, this is it. I'm not getting married again. And then he says marriage is everything to me. How, Brennan? How is marriage everything to you if this is your first marriage? Emily mentions that she hasn't found anyone good enough. That's pretty interesting for Emily to say that, because she talked about being ghosted like after the 3rd date, and she's never been in a serious relationship. So I'm just like, which one is it, Emily? Has like no one's locked you down yet, or you're being picky? Like, what's going on, Emily? And even her friend like picks up on that and makes a comment about it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I wasn't the only one thinking that. We come to the actual, like, the bride.